Hey everybody, it's your boy the Tatum Meister here with a very special video. I'm going to review a book. My Thieving, Stinking Minister? Am I saying that right? Yes. Finally reviewing another book. My mom's book. Finally. Now, I'm going to review this book to the best of my ability because I don't review books often on the channel. But this is my mom's book, so I feel like I should review this one. Yeah, I'm helping her out and promoting the book. I'm going to put the link on the Amazon and stuff on the description and the comments, so you guys can go look it up, buy it. I very much wish you support this book. It's very good. But anyway, so let's get on with it, I guess. So I'm going to try to go by chapter here. There's a prologue, too. Yeah, it took me years to read this. This came out in 2021, actually. So, it took me a few years to actually finish the whole thing. I don't read that much, but I wanted to support my mom, so I read this whole thing. So the prologue basically just gives the information why she wrote the book. I won't really go through that too much, but Chapter 1, Moonler the Ferret. Now, Moonler was a ferret. Now, if you're wondering what this book is about, it's about all the animals that Mom has owned, most of them, and how they've impacted her life and how God spoke to her through these animals. Now, what's cool about the book is it really gives an introspective of like how God, as a Christian myself, how God, can speak through many different things, including your pets and animals. Anyway, I just think I give a little synopsis there before I get into the chapters. So the first chapter is about Moonler, who, by the way, this was a brilliant choice on Mom's part, putting Moonler at the forefront, because she's basically the one that inspired the whole book. Overall, I gotta give Moonler's chapter a 10 out of 10, because this is easily the best chapter in the book. Moonler's chapter is honestly fantastic, and really got me emotional. I mean, yeah. Fantastic chapter. And I think it's Floyd after that. Floyd the Iguana. Floyd the Iguana is a fantastic chapter again, 10 out of 10. The first two chapters of this book are what gets you glued. I'll say that. If you're doubting this book, if you're going in, like, what's this book about? Why do I want to read it? Trust me, when you get to the first two chapters, you want to read the rest. Floyd the Iguana's chapter is also fantastic. I think I'm just a little biased to those because I was also there for those, but I don't know, just the way she uses the pictures too and everything, it's just really well done. So, then after Floyd the Iguana, we got Sheba the German Shepherd. I'm going to give that one a 7 out of 10 because I didn't know Sheba that well, and also I don't really know that chapter. It's hard to follow up Moonler and Floyd. Moonler and Floyd's chapters were masterpiece chapters, so no matter what Sheba was going to do, it just wasn't going to measure up. Jasper and Jasmine, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. Chapter 4. I like those chapters, but I like that chapter, but it doesn't really go too much in depth. It's a shorter chapter compared to the rest. And, yeah. By the way, this cover it says both of these animals are dead now. This is Shaz the Rottweiler and Cooper the Ferret, which I'm about to get to. So after chapter 4, Jasper and Jasmine, the kittens, we get chapter 5, Rikki Tikki Tavi, and Snooper, Cooper, the ferrets. I'm going to give this one also an 8 out of 10. Cooper and Rikki Tikki Tavi were very unique pets. I liked them a lot. I don't really remember much from this chapter, to be honest. Hunter the cat, I'm going to give that one an 8. A lot of these chapters are going to get 8 out of 10, except for this one after. Chapter 6, the Hunter the cat, I'm going to give 8 out of 10. Hunter was a very interesting animal. He very much was a loudmouth. Let me skim through the Hunter chapter again real quick, if I can get to it. It sucks she doesn't. With Hunter's lesson, I guess, Mom always puts a lesson at the end of each chapter. So for Hunter's lesson, it's God used Hunter to show me to many physical lessons about the spiritual world, making Scripture come alive. One of the biggest lessons that God has taught me using Hunter as an object lesson is that sometimes I must be ready to receive a blessing. I be at a diamond in the rough, even if I feel like I'm not prepared for it. Making me understand the scripture to be an instant season and out. So basically with Hunter, you know, he was a very tough animal, but God used him as, you know, to teach her that, receive a blessing, you know. So, encourage the reader. I mean, Hunter was just a very interesting animal, so I wanted to touch on that a bit. And then we get to chapter 7, which is the guy in the book. The one that Mom loves the most, I would say. Shaz the Rottweiler, chapter 7. And for this one, I'm going to give 9 out of 10. This is easily the third best chapter of the book. Yeah, I would say so. This is the Sheba chapter, not the Sheba chapter, the Tasha chapter. They're kind of close. They're neck and neck. Really, Mom put a lot of heart and soul into the Shaz chapter. Let me go see what Shaz's lesson was. Yeah, she really goes in depth with Shaz. I love Shaz too. Shaz was a very wonderful dog. Next we got Zippy, the American Pit Bull Terrier. You know, I don't remember much from this chapter. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, that's really all I got to say on that one. I don't remember much on that one. What was Zippy's lesson again? Let me go over there real quick. 153. The constant reminder in having had her live with me brings home the text to call things that aren't as they are. That's Zippy's role in helping me bring scripture alive to me. She helps you remember to keep speaking those things that aren't as tough as they are, aren't as though they are. Okay. So, Zippy, that's what I'm saying. All these animals in here have a different lesson to them. And that's what's cool about the book. I might skip some of these chapters. Jacko the Cat hit me personally because I used to own Jacko. It's chapter 12. Yeah. Let me skip a few here. Hold on. Let me go to Malcolm the Cat also. Tasha chapter really was nice. That was like, I feel like that one's going to make a lot of readers cry when they read that one. Gems I didn't know that well. Gems was probably the weakest chapter in this book because it's the only animal Mom didn't own. Like, all these other animals Mom either fostered or owned. Gems was the only one in this book I was like confused about. Why is she in the book? Like, Felix didn't end up in the book. Like, what about Shadow? Like, Shadow didn't end up in the book, but Gems ended up in the book. So I'm saying, that's one critique I have with this book, is that some animals didn't end up in it, but Gems ended up in the book? Like, really? Okay. I don't know. I just feel like there's some animals you should have put in here, but okay. Gems, I guess, deserved a spot. What do I know? Another thing is, I kind of wish Tasha was the last chapter, not Tirza. Tasha would have been that emotional, gut-punching ending to the book. And I feel like that's what was needed, not Tirza. I get Tirza was the final animal, not counting Zoe, Jasper, and Jasmine, which came later, after she wrote the book, years later. The book came out in 2021. This is years later. She got new animals. But Tirza was the final animal to come. And, you know, that's probably why she's the ending of the book. But I would have switched Taz and Tirza's chapters to make Tasha the most emotional, gut-punching ending. You know, because Tasha's another big influence to this book. So I feel like Tasha being the ending makes more sense. But that's just me. I don't know. I think you get the point. The book is very... I guess there's another criticism I'm going to give this book. It's not perfect by any means. It does get a little repetitive. Other than the first 2 chapters. I think the first 2 chapters are masterfully done. It may seem a little repetitive to readers, I'll admit. But you know what? Who cares? The book is fantastic. I mean... Why else would I be reviewing it if it wasn't fantastic? I don't just review... Okay, sometimes I review crappy things, but it's pretty rare I do. I mean, I usually review good things on the channel. I'm just gonna go to my rating. It's an 8 out of 10. I think Stinky Thieving Minister is a very solid, well-done book, and I recommend you all go get it. It's a very great read for Christians and non-Christians alike. I feel like even if you're not a Christian, you can get something out of this book. Or it'll help you maybe convert to Christianity. I don't know. You might. Maybe that's the point of it, to help you get to Christianity, because the Mom really put it in perspective here. She, you know, yeah, God's real, and the animals are proof of that. And I think that's really what makes this book special. It's not a perfect book by any means. It's not written like, you know, a Suzanne Collins book, or what's another famous author, or a C.S. Lewis book, it's not perfectly done by any means, but it's really good for what it is. Like, and again, so considering this is her first book, it's very well done. I gotta admit, I love reading it. I might read it again someday. I'm glad it had a part of my collection. I don't read many books, so I read it to support my mom. But, yeah. I really recommend you go read it, guys. So, that's all I'm going to say for right now. The Tater Meister will return. The Tater Meister is signing out. Bye-bye.